Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will study thin layer chromatography. In this video we will study the principles and the working of the thin layer chromatography in detail. Chromatography is basically a technique to separate out different components from a mixture. All chromatography techniques are used in this purpose to separate out different components from a mixture. So how thin layer chromatography is different? In thin layer chromatography, a glass plate like this is used. Now this glass plate can be ready made, can be purchased from market, or this glass plate can be made ready for to perform the TLC chromatography technique. So how TLC is performed? First of all, this glass plate is taken and a thin layer of the stationary phase is coated on it. So now because of the thin layer of the stationary phase which is solid, so the stationary phase taken here is solid, which is mostly silica. Okay, and now because this stationary phase is taken as a thin layer on this glass plate to perform this chromatographic technique, so that's why this is known as the thin layer chromatography, because a thin layer is coated of stationary phase on this glass plate to perform this chromatographic technique. So I hope you have understood this, why it is called as thin layer chromatography. Now the stationary phase, I have told you that it is mostly silica is taken. Now we have discussed the stationary phase, and there is also another phase which is known as mobile phase, or the carrier, which carries out the sample with it and helps in separating out a component from a mixture. Now this mobile phase is taken in liquid state. It is basically a liquid. So the stationary phase is basically a solid, and the example is silica, and the mobile phase can be a liquid. For example, it can be taken as water or any organic solvent. Now, as we come to the principle, on what principle the thin layer chromatography works? So the thin layer chromatography works on the principle of difference in polarity. So it works on the principle of polarity. So now we will understand that the difference in polarity, how this difference in polarity helps in separating out a component from a mixture in the TLC chromatographic technique. So now we will understand how the thin layer chromatography works. So first of all, we have to make the TLC plate. We have to make the TLC plate ready. So how we can make the TLC plate ready? We can make this plate ready by coating the thin layer of stationary phase on it. Now, for example, we have coated the thin layer of stationary phase in it. Then we can say that the glass plate or the TLC plate is ready for working. Now what we will do is, after putting the stationary phase, we will measure 1 centimeter from the bottom of this glass plate, and then we will draw a line exactly 1 centimeter above the base of the glass plate. So after drawing this line exactly 1 centimeter above the base of this glass plate, we will dip this glass plate in a beaker filled with the solvent or the mobile phase. We have taken the mobile phase as liquid, as I have told you earlier. So we will dip this in the solvent or the mobile phase, and we will dip this in such a way that the line that we have drawn just above 1 centimeter from the base of the glass plate, this line would be just above the solvent in which we have dipped this glass plate. Why? Because on this line we will put the sample in small dots, in small circular dots, and this sample is basically the mixture from which we want to separate the different components. So we will just put the sample in small tiny dots here, in circular dots here. Now we will put this whole apparatus for some time and we will observe it. Now after 30 minutes or 1 hour, what will happen is the solvent due to capillary action, the solvent due to capillary action will start moving above the glass plate. So the solvent will start moving in the upward direction through the glass plate, and when the solvent will start to move above, it will carry the sample along with it, because the solvent will move through the glass plate and the sample is present on the glass plate. So the solvent will mix with the sample. Now the sample plus solvent will start to move above from this line, and the both of the sample plus solvent will start to move above. Now, as I have told you, the silica gel is coated as a thin layer on this glass plate, and the silica gel is used as a stationary phase. Now, the silica gel is basically a polar stationary phase. So, polar means attraction towards water. So that means that silica gel is more attracted towards water. It has more affinity towards water. So it is more polar. And the mobile phase is taken as non-polar. Means any organic solvent is taken. So basically the mobile phase is non-polar and the stationary phase is polar. So why we have taken this, you will understand it after a while when I complete this total procedure. So now understand this, that the solvent is non-polar and the sample is basically a mixture. So it may contain polar components plus non-polar components as well. So the solvent or the mobile phase will carry both the non-polar and polar components of the sample along with it through the glass plate. And as the silica gel or the stationary phase is polar, so now the polar components from the sample will make bonds with the polar stationary phase, because polar attracts each other. So the polar component of the sample will get attracted to the polar stationary phase and will make bonds along with it. So because of that, the polar components will not be able to go far along the glass plate, and the non-polar component or the less polar component will easily go through the glass plate and will easily travel through the glass plate, because these are non-polar and will not make any bonds with the polar component of stationary phase. So it will travel far away. So basically the less polar or the non-polar component of the sample will travel far and will be present in a dot form a little bit far away from the baseline of the sample. And the high polar component, the highly polar component of the sample will be present a little bit near to the baseline of the sample where the original sample is present, because the highly polar component will not be able to travel far away, because it will make bonds with the polar stationary phase. Now the next point is the RF value. The RF value is calculated in TLC. Now the RF value is basically the retention factor. So retention factor is basically the distance traveled by the component. Let's say this component, this less polar or the non-polar component, has traveled a distance a from the baseline. We will measure the distance from the baseline. So let's say that the less polar or the non-polar component has traveled distance a from the baseline, and the solvent due to capillary action The solvent is basically non-polar. It is a mobile phase, so it will travel more than the sample components. So let's say the solvent travels till here. So the distance traveled by this solvent from the baseline is, let's take this as B. Now RF value is basically the distance traveled by the component given in the sample, that is separated in the sample. Let's say this as sample component. This is the sample component which can be non-polar or the polar component, and it is divided by distance traveled by the solvent. So we can basically say that this is a measure of A divided by B, the distance traveled by the less polar component and the distance traveled by the solvent. Now this is the RF value for the less polar or the non-polar component. Now if we have to find the retention factor for the high polar component, we will take this distance. Let's say this distance is C. So now the retention factor will become C by B, because the distance traveled by the component which is highly polar is, we have taken the distance as C, and the distance traveled by the solvent is B. So the retention factor will be C by B in this case for the polar component, and the retention factor for the non-polar component will be A by B. Now why the retention factor is calculated? The retention factor is calculated because the scientists have already discovered the RF value for different organic compounds. So the TLC is basically used to separate the mixture of different organic compounds. For example, let's say this sample is a mixture of different amino acids. Now scientists have already found the RF value for different amino acids. Now when we separate these amino acids on the TLC plate, now we will calculate the RF or the retention value of these amino acids, and we don't know the name of these amino acids as of now. Now the scientists have already find out the different RF value of the different amino acids that is present in nature. Now we will refer this RF value sheet. There is a RF value sheet, and we will refer this RF value sheet, and we will correlate this with the retention factor that we have calculated. And retention factor is basically a value which is between 0 to 1. So whatever the retention factor that we have got, we will correlate with this list, and we will find the name of the organic compound that we have separated from this mixture. So basically in this way, we can separate and identify the component that we have separated in a TLC plate. So in this way, the TLC or the thin layer chromatography works. I hope friends you have understood each and every concept clearly. If you have any doubt, you can ask them in the comment section.